Egypt. Hello from Alaska.
Hello from Nigeria.
Hola from Puerto Rico.
Hi from Georgia.
Hello from India.
Hello from Cyprus.
Hello from Canada.
Hello from Malaysia.
Hello and welcome to today's Flipgrid Live Event. I am your host, Jernay Armand from Team Flipgrid at Microsoft, coming to you from New Orleans, Louisiana in the United States. We have a special adventure for you. We are traveling to Mount Everest Base Camp to meet Full Circle Team, the first all-Black team to climb Mount Everest, the world's highest mountain, 29,000 feet tall and almost 9,000 meters, located in Asia. Let's learn more about the Full Circle team and then buckle up because we are about to land in Everest Base Camp.
Hey everybody, my name's Fred and I'm excited to share our project. Our expedition, Full Circle, is aiming to be the first all Black and brown expedition to the highest place on Earth. We'd love to share a little bit about the team and why we think it's important, and we hope you support the project.
Yeah, Manoa here. We have a group of 10 people that'll be going to Everest to hopefully summit. The main reason why this is important, historically, Black and brown people haven't been in these areas and environments, especially not on the highest point of the world.
So we think that this is an opportunity to be first in a lot of ways.
Here is the team for our Everest expedition. Really excited to be a part of this group of wonderful people that bring a bunch of different talents and backgrounds, experiences.
And I think we're all really, really, really excited to share it with a community that may not have had as much of an attachment to Everest and alpinism. And we think that's a wonderful opportunity.
The first Black and brown expedition to the highest place on Earth. Let's check it out. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and imagine you're on top of a mountain. All right, go ahead and open your eyes. You're now looking at the live feed of Mount Everest. So breathtaking. All this wonder and majesty right in front of us. So beautiful. Now, we have the pleasure of meeting the Full Circle team. We've got Abby, Adina, Dom, Eddie, Evan, Fred, KG, Manoa, Philip, Rosemary, and Thomas. Hello, everyone. I can't wait to chat with all of you. So let's first start off with you, Eddie. Can you give us a quick update on your expedition? Where are you at the moment, and what have the last couple of days looked like?
Yeah, we're just at Everest Base Camp. We arrived 3 days ago. It was a 10-day trek in from it was a 10-day trek into the valley, and the next few days going forward, we will start getting ready to climb the mountain.
Wow, already 10 days in. That's incredible. I'd love to hear more about the team and the team's mission. I am sure there are a lot of people involved who have supported your journey so far.
Yeah, I think the best person for that would be the team leader, Philip Henderson.
Hi, Philip.
I'm Philip here. You know, it's to prepare for this expedition. It's really been about a 3-year process, putting the team together and gaining our sponsorship and all the gear we needed to get here. The special thing is that, you know, we've reconnected with our Sherpa team as well, and I think there's an additional 25 of them that are working with us to put in our camps and make sure that we're safe high on the mountain.
Philip, that was amazing. You know, there is this proverb that says, if you want to go quickly, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. So it is incredible to see your team together, as well as so many people supporting and rooting you on. So I want to know, How long did it take you to prepare for this expedition? And is there anything special that you had to do, Eddie?
Yeah, I mean it's been a while to prepare for this expedition, but I think the best would be to I want to call up KG, who's a mountain guide from Kenya, as well as Abby, who comes from the furthest place for mountains. So I think those would be those two folks would be great to answer this question.
Hi, Journey.
So I'm wondering, how long did it take you to prepare for this moment right now?
It feels like a lifetime in some ways. Every time I've had to learn how to try hard, whether it be with my climbing or pushing through a difficult situation, uh, all of those experiences seem to kind of lead you up to preparing for being at the outer limits of your comfort. In more practical terms, a lot of strength training, a lot of going to the mountains and testing the body and seeing how it behaves and how it adapts. But generally, just a lot of persistence.
Wow.
I think KG
So
also has
beautiful.
something to add.
Yeah, hi. Yep, for me, also it feels like it took forever to prepare. It wasn't such a big difference with what I do in the mountains. As soon as I landed, I would be on the expedition. I asked for contracts that would put me in the mountains. So I was actually in the mountains from June all the way through December. And then I was in East African mountains in January, February, and March. And when I was not on the mountains, I would just go out and use machines. I don't know what they are called, but those machines that you can use at home, those give me a lot of strength. And part of it also was I knew that I had to eat a lot. I'm not a good eater. I knew that I had to store something in my body to get ready for this.
So amazing. So both literally and figuratively, climbing to the top takes perseverance. And thank you so much for sharing so much that you had to prepare for. I have one more question for you. Did you leave anything behind that you wish you had brought with you? Abby, do you want to go first?
The answer is no. I haven't left anything behind. I was sent here with a lot of love and good wishes, and I'm well surrounded here with excellent teammates and an incredible supporting Sherpa team. So, KG?
As for me, hi. As for me, it's not that I forgot something so hot and sometimes dusty, and I wished that I had a sleeveless t-shirt that I could use during the hot times.
Well, I'm so happy to hear that you both haven't left anything really behind. And Abby, what a beautiful sentiment to say that you have the love and wishes from so many people that will get you far along the way. And KG, I'm hoping maybe that T-shirt will get to you when you get to that warm and hot environment. So, for all of you watching, we want to hear from you during today's event. Use the Q&A chat tool on the right-hand side of your screen to ask your questions. Members of the Full Circle team will answer as many as they can in the chat. And teachers and parents, we've got a little ask for you. Make sure you have your cameras or phones handy because a little later we are going to have a chance to take a selfie with the Full Circle team right here while at base camp. We love seeing your smiling faces, creating memories, and hearing about your favorite moments. So please be sure to share your photos with us on Instagram by tagging at Flipgrid and at Full Circle Everest. Now, Eddie and Philip, I don't know if you know this, but Flipgrid's mission is to empower every voice. So we've asked students to submit video questions, and we have chosen a few to share with you today. So let's hear the first one.
My name is Sherry and I'm from the United States. Where did the idea of the climb come from?
Great question. Sherry is wondering where this idea of the climb even came from.
So the idea really came from my last Everest expedition back in 2012. and several other trips to the Kumbu region in Fort Say, it's a little village in the Kumbu, and my connection with the Sherpa people. And so I wanted people from my home community, Black and Brown people, to share this experience, the Everest experience, and be connected to the culture in Nepal as well.
Phil, that's incredible. And thank you so much for mentoring and inspiring the next group of climbers. So let's get back to some chat questions. Eddie, what is it like to be a climber of the highest mountain in the world? What's a day in the life of a climber like?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really, really cool place and a really cool opportunity just to be here. But I want to bring in Evan and Fred to talk about it. Fred's been climbing all over the world, and Evan, this is one of his first trips out of the country. So I think that they would be a really good pair to answer this question.
Hi, everybody. We as climbers here on Everest kind of have two different kinds of days. Some days we're climbing, some days we're in base camp. And I'll let Evan explain to you what a base camp day is like.
Hey, I'm Evan, and our base camp days are time that we get to kind of recharge and eat some food and sleep in our tents and take naps and charge our devices and things like that. And so we get to enjoy all the amenities of base camp and do a little bit of training in the area and get ready for those big climbing days, which Fred will explain.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. On climbing days, we're really trying to get higher on the mountain, but we have to move really, really slow. So we'll wake up early, we'll eat something like 2,000 feet, but it'll take all day. And so we move slow because there's not a lot of oxygen in the air. But in the end, we're a little bit farther on the mountain, and we kind of repeat that and then come back down and spend time in base camp. So we get a good mix of both.
That sounds like a wonderful way to balance. And at your time at base camp, do you have any fun things that you like to do with one another as you're recharging for the next wave of the climb?
Yeah, we have lots of fun games like bananagrams and chess that we like to play with each other. And then we just like to eat snacks and hang out and listen to music.
It's a fun group, so we enjoy hanging out with each other.
That's super cool. And what is probably the most, I guess, the hardest part about that trek and climb? You said you have to go really slow to be able to climb. So what are maybe some tips for maybe future climbers that you have?
Yeah, if you're going to climb big mountains, make sure that you move slowly, you drink a lot of water, you come prepared with the right gear, the right jackets, ropes, and everything, and kind of take your time.
That's awesome. So preparing the mind and body every step of the way. So Eddie, here is a question I'm sure you get a lot about food. How do you keep yourself fed during the actual climb?
Yeah, I think I'm going to give that one back to Thomas and Dom. Thomas just organized all of our food that we brought for the past couple of weeks, and I think they'll have a lot to share on that subject.
I think this is a good time to underscore the importance of our Sherpa and Nepalese teammates. Here you just see the full circle teammates who are largely from the United States and Kenya, but we have about 30 other teammates who are Nepalese and Sherpa people, and they carry a lot of our food that we will eat during the expedition. They prepare our food as well so that we stay with the proper nutrients throughout our climb. We also carry around snacks during the day, and these are largely sugary things that we can eat and easily absorb so we can move higher on the mountain.
So not only do you pack things with you, you have other community members that are there helping you along the way, making sure that you are well fed and have the nutrition to continue your climbs every day. And what a beautiful thing. Do you want to share anything else about maybe what's your favorite food that you've had on the mountain?
I love Snickers bars. Love them.
We know those are packed with lots of energy, and I'm sure so many out there enjoy little snacks like Snickers bars along the way. Anyone else have a favorite that they've had along the way on your climb?
Gummy bears.
Gummy bears, and I think that's one thing. We all love our favorite snacks, no matter what type of trip we go on. So I'm glad you have your Snickers and gummy bears with you. So we are going to have another video question. And Eddie, I'm getting the sense that planning and preparation is key.
Hola, mi nombre es Fernando Lopez, y mi pregunta para ustedes es, has there been a time so far that things haven't gone as planned?
Great question. So Fernando is wondering if there has been a time so far that something didn't go as planned.
Yeah, we've had a few things go not as planned and whatnot, but I think the best two people to describe that would be Rosemary and Manoa.
Hi, Rosemary and Manoa. We have Fernando wondering, has there been a time so far that something didn't really go as planned?
Yeah, with trips and expeditions like this, that are around 2 months long, there's a lot of time for things to not go as planned. And the best thing one can do with that is, to think and act quickly and to just be resilient. But as far as our trips so far, I think this question is directed at me because on the trek up, my really strong wife wasn't feeling good, and it hit all of a sudden. There's different types of sickness that are common when you're up in the mountains. The main one is sickness from altitude, and then there's just kind of common sicknesses, cold, flu, all of that stuff. But on our last day trekking into base camp here, we were about maybe an hour and a half out of base camp, and yeah, my wife just didn't feel good all of a sudden, and she just didn't have enough oxygen, so it's really hard for her to breathe. Vision went away, and yeah, really major headache. But luckily, our team of Nepali and Sherpa folk here were able to rush down some oxygen and get her down to safety quickly.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that happened, but of course we all know this is learning experiences, and I'm so glad that you had the team and the resources to make sure that your wife, just got back to her health as quickly as possible. And so I'm wondering, this is a learning experience along the way. There's certain things that we can prepare for, and there's other things that we might learn in that moment in time. And as you mentioned, we have to just be ready to respond to those things. So what will you do if something doesn't go as planned during your summit of Mount Everest?
Yeah, Rosemary here. Just as Manoa had mentioned, one of the most key things that we can bring to this experience is being resilient by being perseverant and also being flexible. And I would say from experience, more often than not, no matter how much you plan ahead, no matter how much you prepare, there's going to be at least one, if not many things that don't go according to plan. So as we continue on this mountain, if things maybe take us by surprise, whether it be sickness, whether it be unexpected weather, whether it be issues with gear, we'll just maintain that flexibility and support of each other, both on our full circle team, support of our Nepali and Sherpa teammates as well, to be able to sort of tackle and create a problem solve and work through any situation that arises while prioritizing the safety and well-being of everyone here.
Really great points, Rosemary. Safety is number one, but I love that you all have this beautiful goal, and that really gets you to the point where when things don't go right, you think about the plan B and other steps. And that's how we build resilience in anything that we do. So now, Eddie, this is a moment that I think so many watching have been waiting for. It is selfie time. So teachers, parents, and friends, get out your cameras and everyone gather in front of your screen in your classroom or at home, wherever it is that you're watching from. We will give you a few seconds to get set up, and don't mind us. We'll be over here having a little dance party. All right, Eddie, let's bring everyone back on screen. Are y'all ready to dance? Let's cue the music. All right, Eddie, we will have you do the honors of doing the countdown for us.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Everest.
Everest.
Oh, wow, that was so much fun. We would love to see your selfies, so please post them on Instagram by tagging us using the handles below. Now, let's dive back into your questions. All right, we have a question coming in, and the student is wondering if science plays a role in an expedition like this.
Yeah, science definitely plays a role in the expedition. And in fact, Adina, who came along not to climb the mountain, but just to help support, is an Antarctic researcher and is doing a lot of stuff with weather and climate as well. So I think she'll be the best person to answer this question.
Hey, Adina.
Thanks, Eddie and Journey. Yeah, so science plays a huge role in this, both because of what science can do for us as a climbing team, and also what we as a climbing team can do for science. So one of the most important things about being safe on the mountain is having some knowledge about what the weather's going to be doing, what the climate's going to be doing, what to expect when we're up there. And so science can tell us a lot about what to expect with weather, with climate, with glaciers and how they move and how they behave. And likewise, it's really tough to do science in these kinds of environments, and not a lot of people come up here. So we as a climbing team can help scientists by taking measurements and making observations to inform their science.
Wow, what a beautiful learning process of reciprocity. I love the fact that you have to learn and prepare to be there, but you're also sharing information that you are learning and able to, as you mentioned, take those measurements, because not everyone is going to be able to do the climb. So being that contributor to that larger body of knowledge is so important. Adina, what are some other things that are really important when it comes to science that maybe our scholars around the world need to know about when it comes to mountain climbing?
Oh, that's such a big question. There are lots of important things. So out in the mountains, it's a special kind of environment, and it's really hard to understand, like, how does the sun and the clouds and the snow act together, and how do things that happen up in the mountains impact what's happening down low? And mountains can create their own weather. And all these kinds of things are really hard to understand without doing science up in the mountains and in these kinds of environments.
Wow, that's so eye-opening. So scholars out there, pay attention in those science classes as you're learning about weather and climate. You know, you can apply those to future events and things that you're passionate about, just like our climbers are so passionate about this expedition. So Eddie, thank you so much for introducing us to the entire team. Let's bring Philip, your expedition leader, back, as we would love to hear from both of you. So, what's next on this journey, Philip? And when do you hope to reach the summit?
What's next on our journey is we have a couple of climbs to neighboring peaks to get us up at a higher altitude that exposes us to thinner air, and then we'll come back to base camp and rest. And we're hoping that we'll be able to have some folks reach the top somewhere in the mid-May. We have to depend on what the weather does, and so we have to rely on our science-based data that we get to tell us when we can potentially reach the top of the world.
I love how in tune with nature you are, and listening to nature and listening to your bodies and pacing yourselves. You're already 10 days in, and maybe by mid-May, some climbers will reach that summit. And I think that's an amazing thing. So before we wrap up, we would love to hear from both of you. Do you have any final thoughts to share with our audience, Eddie?
Yeah. Just thanks so much for following our expedition and for watching this. I think that, yes, and climbing the mountain is really important, but I think it's also important to share those stories and have you guys be here with us. I'm a teacher, and so I'm reaching back out to my classrooms as well. And I think that's just a really, really important part of this expedition, is just that you guys can follow us and you guys can learn a little bit more about Everest and Nepal and the people that live here.
Well, Eddie, I'm going to speak for everyone who's watching. It is an honor and privilege that you all are sharing this experience with all of us so that we're able to learn right alongside with you. And you may want to give a shout out to your class and students back in the United States who might be watching.
Yeah. Hi, Centaurus High School.
That's incredible. Any final thoughts from you, Philip?
Yeah, my final thought and words to all the folks watching and so on is, Everest is for most people a once in a lifetime thing, and it's really extreme. But what I encourage people to do is just get outside and really find your own summits, no matter where they be. Just get out and do it.
Such incredible advice. And so students, think about what Philip just said. They're climbing Mount Everest and they're going to reach that summit, but there's summits every day in our lives. So celebrate your small wins and big victories along the way, and use the inspiration from this team to get you through that challenge that you may be facing right in front of you. Well, very best of luck to all of you. The entire Flipgrid community is with you. You've got this. We are rooting for you and we can't wait to follow along. So let's bring back the entire team to say goodbye. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye.
I have some big news for all of you. If you'd like to stay up to date on Full Circle's advancements on Mount Everest, you can join their Flipgrid group where they'll be posting exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Just go to flipgrid.com/Full Circle Everest to join in on the adventure. And of course, we have Flipgrid Live events every week. Here's a look at what's coming up. On the 26th, Weapons of the Wild with Genovesi's New York City Department of Education, Genovesi's Environmental Studies Center. On the 28th, join an Arctic adventure as we travel to the frozen north to meet the Encounter EDU team at an Arctic research station in Svalbard. On May 10th, we are lucky and blessed to be joined by Mo Willems and the Pumphrey brothers as we give tribute to the power of collaboration and celebrate every kid's uniqueness. Head to aka.ms/Flipgrid Live Events to register. Thank you all so much for choosing to spend your time with us. On behalf of Team Flipgrid and the Full Circle team, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.